as I owned the MFC. I was his main trainer and sparring partner and all these things. And I have about the athleticism of about that much athleticism. But when it came to fighting, for some weird reason, that was the only time I looked semi-athletic. Maybe that's why I loved it so much, you know.
It's fascinating, man.
Yeah, but it's crazy. But
Yeah,
my point is like you running forward, and people, I want them to understand, like, it's so great that you came on the show today, because I wanted people to understand the difference of you and so many others. And I'm not putting down any other MMA fighters that have been on the show. They've all been great, but you're different. Okay. And your difference comes from groveling through this crap in your life that you did and coming out the other side. Listen, I remember even the story about Dimebag Darrell. You were there when he got killed, which is, the reason why I know that story is because my sister worked for Riff in Detroit, the big radio station. And I would almost bet $1. She was friends. My sister was friends with Dimebag Darrell, and you were there when he got killed, which when I read that, I was like, this is crazy, because my sister was like buddies with him. And yeah, like it's unbelievable. But the point is, like, the stuff that you've been through and then came out the other side. And if people could take anything off this show today, that's the thing they got to. I mean, it's not. It is unbelievable, but it's been done. But you did it.
Yeah, no, I hope that's what people take away from me and my story, and anybody that influences. You can do it, right? Like
yeah.
All those stupid cliches.
Yeah.
Believe, conceive, achieve, and all this shit. There's a reason it's a cliche, man. There's a reason that people say that shit all the time, and I think I'm testament to that. I don't really think too much about all this shit that I've been through. I think there's people out there that have been through way more than me, and have it way harder, and have overcome way more. And there's probably better stories on that, but that's not to take away that someone can't relate to my personal story.
Exactly.
And I hope that people can. And again, that's the most fulfilling part about what we do, man. Like, I have these, especially when we're influencing these young kids that feel lost, and they find something, man. I think the martial arts, that's why it's a beautiful thing. I have these kids. I got an example of a kid came in about 2 months ago to my gym here, and this kid, he was just a big fan of mine, but when he first walked in, he couldn't even look me in the eyes. Head was down. He was nervous. He was scared. He said his mom said, spoke for him. He was like 13 years old, but wouldn't even look me in my eyes. Mom said he'd been getting bullied at school and he needs to learn how to protect himself, but he loves me on that video game. So, if she's going to take him somewhere, it had to be here. And they were driving an hour to get here. And I remember just this week, or last week, I should say, the week before last, recently. I walk in my gym, and this kid's got his chest puffed out. He's hitting the bag. He's like, yo, you see this punch, Matt Brown? He then throws the right hand and hits the bag. And, like, it almost brought a tear to my eye, man. I was like, this kid, like, literally couldn't look at me a week ago. Now he's showing off.
Do you think that's a solution, Matt? I've always believed that, because we live in Canada. I've yelled it from I've yelled it from the mountaintops, and I tell parents, stop wasting your money on hockey and on group sports. It's all bullshit. I come from a huge hockey family. My dad was in the NHL. My uncle was in the NHL, and I say it's all bullshit. You're wasting your money on that. Put your kids in martial arts. I say it on this show every time. Put them in jiu-jitsu, boxing, Jeet-Kune-Do, I don't care. Something that really makes sense, that you can really blast off on, and that really works. Put your kids in martial arts. It will save their lives. It will. People are worried about kids are getting bullied all the time online. People are getting bullied all the time.
It'll end that in a hurry.
But you know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? They think the teachers actually think in their minds that that they could talk to these kids and that's going to solve the problem. Here's the news flash: it's not true. It doesn't work. You know what works? The second you backhand the bully, that works. And let me tell you, and sometimes the bully can smell kids that are training at Matt Brown's place, and they go, "Oh, wait a second, I don't think I want to mess with Jimmy today because Jimmy's walking different all of a sudden." Yeah. And that'll solve your problem.
Yeah, and a couple of things on that. I think it's a part of a solution. The real solution is parenting.
Yeah,
right.
You're right. Of course.
I only have them for an hour a day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe 2. maybe 3 if they're ultra dedicated or something. There's still 20 plus other hours of the day that, you know, they need direction.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you know, on that, you know, my own kids, you could certainly, they could beat the shit out of a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Right. But with that power that they have,
correct.
Because I actually parent them, they don't use it. Right.
Right.
A kid tried to, a good story. A kid tried to bully one of my kids. They were playing flag football. They're, you know, and they're standing in line. I think this kid, he might have been autistic. I'm not sure, or something, but, you know, he just kept pushing my son, and my son was 9 at the time, and I'm just watching from the car. And, you know, I gave it a minute. You know, I didn't just go out and try to put a stop to it. You know, he's a big boy. He can handle it, right? But about, you know, after about 2 minutes of it, my son turned around, started talking to him, and the kid walked away. My son, he came into the car after, and I said, hey, what'd you say that kid does pushing you? He said, well, I told him that if he pushes me again, I'm going to take him down. I'm going to mount him. I'm going to arm bar him. I'm going to break his arm. I was like, very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You basically just out logic this kid, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I tell my kids. I tell them, tell, talk, tackle, right? First, you know, you tell the kid what's going to, or you tell someone else if it's a necessary thing, and tell the teacher. And then you talk to the kid, you know, if he keeps doing it. And then you tackle him if you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you take his life away from him, you know, or whatever, you know, take his breath away, whatever. And yeah, so I see it as a solution in that, you know, in that sense. But the parenting, man, that's what it comes down to. You know, these fucking parents suck, man. I see it all the time. You know, these kids, these parents, they bring their kids into my gym and they say, yeah, man, I just want to get him off this iPad, man, you know, and straighten him up. I'm like, well, you can bring him here to get him off his iPad. That's all good and well. But isn't that your job?
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Parents are afraid of kids now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm big on that in my house, man. I don't even have Wi-Fi at my house. I got rid of it specifically for that reason. I want to look, my kids, if they want to get on computer or iPad, whatever, you know, it is they do, they can walk over to the fucking computer, turn it on, and use it. And that's fine. But guess what? That removes 90% of the computer time right there.
That's right.
You know, and it's not hard. Like I still have access to the internet and everything. You know what I mean? I can still go on and, you know, scroll through, you know, a bunch of fucking influencers flexing their muscles and being dipshits on Instagram and stuff. You know, it doesn't hurt my life in any way. But everybody feels like, oh, we have to have that, you know, and it's like, no, you really don't. I mean, I still have a PlayStation hardwired, I have my computer hardwired, and the TV hardwired. You know, it's not,
that's a really interesting take on that. I like that.
Yeah. Write that down.
A really simple solution for me. And I had it first, and they would lay in their beds playing on their iPads, and you know, I didn't have any idea. Like I'm out doing my thing, you know. But so I just removed that, and that was a really simple solution, and you know, it's worked pretty good for me now. Now they actually build fucking forts. You know, they actually they actually go outside and, you know, cut their knees up, and and you know, they fuck shit up. You know, they wreck their skateboards, and you know, which isn't always the funnest thing. You know, then you got to listen to them cry. But your parents are like, oh, you know, I want to protect them. I'm like, I want to not protect them. Build some fucking resiliency. You know, so. Like, you know, my one son, he's like the best tree climber you've ever seen, you know. And these other kids watching him, they won't even attempt the tree, right?
I haven't seen a kid in a tree, and I haven't seen a kid in a tree in at least 10 years. I'm not joking. We got trees all over where we live. Everywhere there's a tree, there's kids. And the one kid next, we only have 2 kids on our whole street. And the father brings them over sometimes to play sports with us, you know, and they'll call me out and they'll be like, Mark, come outside, play basketball with me. I go, you little pricks. If I come outside, I'm going to put it on you. And so I go outside, I put it on them. They start crying, you know? So I brought them over one time and I said, kids, why are you crying for? You know, why do you cry? I'm not going to let you win ever. I don't care what you call me out. You call me out to play soccer in the backyard. I'm going to whoop your ass. You call me out to play basketball. I'm not good in any of these sports, but I'm going to win. And I'm going to teach you something. So now it's funny when they come over now and they just lost last year, they're no more crying. And the father says to me, "Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark." And I said, "What do you mean? Thank you, me? You know what I mean? Like you should be, don't let these kids win. I'm telling you, when my son won for the first time in front of our house, he ran down the street like he won the fucking Stanley Cup. I'm not kidding you. He ran down the street for days. He was screaming in the neighborhood, "I won. I finally won." I wonder if that taught him anything in life in general. Think about that for a second. You know what I mean? So these
a lot of parents don't realize or don't care. I don't know. They're too engulfed in their own lives or whatever. But so many of these little lessons, man, the kids, it gets ingrained in them and it carries over to everything they do,
Correct. Yes.
And that's why I got my kids into martial arts at a young age. I put them out in a tournament and a jiu-jitsu tournament their first month that they were doing jiu-jitsu.
Awesome.
They lost. And they come off the mats crying like, "What the fuck was that?" and then, but it was the test. I said, "All right, you want to do it again?" They're like, "Hell yeah, I do." And I said, "Good. You're a tough kid then." And now they go out there and they fucking slay guys. You know what I mean? Like I almost feel bad for the other kids sometimes.
Well, that's incredible though, because I really do believe that, and Mark and I have always talked about parenting and especially kids and giving out 8th place trophies for sucking, and how much we hate that in this culture today, and that's why martial arts is a great leveler, or maybe a great revealer.
Reality. It's a
reality check.
It's a reality check for everybody. Yep.
Yes.
And the best thing too is when parents aren't allowed in the class when the kids are training, if they got to be behind a glass or something, even better. You know what I mean? Let these kids figure it out on their own. They don't have to go. They don't have to go look for nobody. You got to figure this shit out when you're doing martial arts. You know what I mean? And you can't fake it. You can't fake it. You're by yourself. So you have to figure it out. And most kids, it's true, Matt, if they lose like that and they say, "Yeah, Dad, I want to do it again," that's the correct answer. You know what I mean?
Well, so you get punched in the face and then you take the step forward towards the guy again. That, that kind of thing. Like, that's the mentality we have to help our kids learn, is that, hey, you're going to get hit a lot growing up here. You're going to get hit a lot. If you think it's bad now, wait till it's older. And if you're not taking the step forward again, you might as well just lay down now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so many of these parents, I notice, owning a gym, I see a lot of parents. I see a lot of different personality types, lot of strange people. And you can almost always tell within the first 5 minutes that you meet them and talk to them what their kid's going to be like and how they're going to perform. And
interesting.
A lot of them, they just base too much around emotion.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, I don't want him to be sad. Don't want him to be mad. Don't want him to be angry." But that he has to learn how to deal with these emotions.
He's going to be those things.
Yeah, those are going to happen. And I don't know. I think that's a huge issue in the country in general.
I agree.
Right? The people trying to fix or use emotions as a solution to problems.
You're right.
Or even saying that the emotion was a problem to start with.
Right.
So it's I don't know. I'm not a fucking politician,
but you're making a lot of sense, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, how did you get in the coffee business? How did that come around?
So I was actually sponsored by a guy named Connor, who's my business partner now. He was sponsoring me, and he was sending me this coffee, and I would call him, and I said, I get a lot of different things sent to me all the time. A lot of different, supplements and drinks, all this shit. He sent me this coffee, and I was like, "This is the best fucking coffee I ever had in my life." What the hell is this all about?
Wow.
Right. So I called him up and I said, "Dude, where the fuck you getting this coffee, man?" Anyway, we ended up being friends. He ended up coming up, visit, and hang out a little bit. And he was like, he's into fitness and trains a little bit and lifts a lot with me and stuff. Well, he said, "Man, I think I just mentioned it in passing." I said, "Dude, Immortal Coffee sounds like a badass name, huh?" And he was having some issues with his other coffee company, and he said, "Let's fucking do it, man. Let's go."
Wow. Right after the show, right after the show, we will order Immortal Coffee. So you could bet on that, and we'll drink it online just so you know we're not full of shit.
Nice.
And I love great coffee, and I only
me
have
too.
one. I have 1 cup a day. That is it. But it's a big cup. Okay, it's a big one.
Okay.
But just one and
What
black.
kind do you like?
Well, the thing about me is it's got to be black, no sugar, no cream, because that's how you know if it's like people all the time say, oh, I tried this coffee, they put mounds of sugar and it tastes like shit, right? So I say the coffee has to come black. That's how I can tell if it's any good or not. So I can't wait to try your coffee. I saw TJ pumping it the other day too, and I thought that was really cool. And I'm giving him after this performance last weekend, I'm giving TJ a pass on that other bullshit because I'm telling you right now, to come off the bench for not fighting in 2 years, fighting the number 2 guy in the world, and to show the dog he was this weekend, we all make gigantic mistakes in life, and
I gave him a pass a long time ago. I know TJ for a long time. I know him really well. And I've always been very anti-steroid.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and really just because it's against the rules. Like, I don't care if people take steroids. I mean,
yeah.
But if it's against the rules, against the rules. I'm also anti people grabbing the cage. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's one and the same. But what I was going to say, TJ, man, he fessed up to it and admitted to it like a fucking man.
First guy in history.
First guy in
history. Yeah.
And, you know, so when I first heard he did it, I was like, fuck, man. You know, now I got to not ever talk to my friend again. He knows how I feel about steroids and shit. Yeah. You know, I was like, nah, I'm never going to talk to him again, whatever. And then when he fessed up to it, the way that he did, I just called him up. I said, TJ, you're a fucking man, bro. And I respect that.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Well,
yeah,
Matt,
but what do you like? A dark, medium, light?
I like French press. I do French press.
But like dark roast. He does like a dark roast. I know
dark
that.
roast.
I do too.
And Mrs. P makes it for me every morning, and it's big. And then we go on a long hike right after. But I'm gonna try the Immortal Coffee, and I pray it's great because
Can we get it in Canada?
Will they ship it to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
We will order it. And I will contact your guys and I will order it because I've been hearing great things about the coffee. Great things.
Yeah, you'll love it, man. And now, do you know the difference between like dark, light, and medium?
Well, you're the expert.
Yeah, like I'm gonna start giving you pointers on coffee. Like Jesus, man, come on.
So I didn't know this at first either. I was always a dark roast guy because it's fucking dark, man. Like it's good shit, right?
It's go time, yeah.
But dark actually has less caffeine.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Because it's more burned. It's been roasted longer.
Yeah.
The light roast is more fresher. Obviously, it's been cooked less. You know, it's like a well done burger or steak versus medium rare, which is the way you
makes sense.
If
makes
you eat your
sense.
steak well done, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Right? You're not my friend. So, but coffee's different to me. Some people just simply like different. But I just wanted to check because look, if you're into the dark roast because you want to be, tough or look tough or whatever.
No.
But if you're into it because you know what it is and you know the difference.
Yeah. It's for me. It's a taste thing. I got stuck on that taste.
Do you have all those different roasts too?
Yeah, we have them all. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Oh, well. Geez.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it today. We're going to support it. We want people to buy your coffee. I think it's super important for if Connor's got whiskey. Poirier's got hot sauce, and now Matt Brown has got coffee, which we can all relate to. So it's very important, and it's got a cool name. It's got a cool look. So we got to try it.
Nice.
And you'll know when I drink it next week on the show, and I'm talking way faster than usual. You know what's up.
It does.
I love it. You'll love it. I guarantee.
Good. Yeah. Awesome.
If you like, because there's 3 different grades of coffee.
That's
right. Ours is premium. The top. There's only 10% of coffees at that grade.
That's right.
Yeah. It ain't coming from Starbucks.
No.
We don't drink that. We don't drink that stuff.
TJ, it was cool how he promoted my coffee because he was actually the first guy to teach me about real coffee.
Oh.
When I was on the Ultimate Fighter with him, we were driving to the gym, and I said, "Man, let's get some coffee." He's like, "Yeah, no problem." He's sitting there Googling, looking for a good coffee shop. I was like, dude, there's a fucking Starbucks right here. He's like, I ain't going to Starbucks.
That's
And,
me too, man. No way.
Yeah. And I didn't
No
know
way.
at the time. I was like, I had no idea there was even a difference.
Yeah.
So he taught me all about it right then, and told me to buy a French press. I went and got a French press, bought some good coffee, hooked up with Connor, and now I know more than I need to.
Exactly.
Well, we hope that comes to Canada because we have a place called Tim Hortons, which is like Dunkin' Donuts, and everyone loves that here, and it's absolute
Yeah, no,
trash.
my girlfriend is Canadian. And,
Oh,
Is she? Where's she
yes.
from? Where's she from, Matt?
Toronto.
Toronto. Oh, Toronto.
Tim Hortons is trash.
Yeah.
You can tell her that.
Yeah, it's trash. Trash.
Well, she's from probably trashier part, Hamilton.
Yeah,
Oh
Hamilton,
yeah,
yeah,
that,
Steel
my
Town.
my, my
Yeah.
sister lives there. My sister lives there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, she always wants to go to Tim Hortons. I'm like, I own a fucking coffee company. It's Canadian.
Yeah, forget it, man. It's Canadian. The second we drink it, we just made it Canadian. So it's when we get it,
Yeah,
we'll
but
be
she
we're the
put-
Canadian branch over here.
Yeah, I think she gets a triple or something.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my
No,
God.
It's all
oh, gee,
sugar.
oh shit. That ain't it.
Well,
You might-
Matt,
you
we
might
thank
well-
you so much for joining us tonight. You
Awesome.
know,
Awesome.
you're a class act, and I love that. Without bashing too many people, like there's people that have to put on the show, and you're not like that. You're who you are. Before we went on air, everybody, we said like, hey, it's live. You can say whatever you want, and he's like, I always do. And so, and that's true, and I can totally get that sense from you that you are who you are, and the person that we see on TV, the person we see fighting, same person that we could sit down in that room with you with nobody watching, and you'd be the same guy. So,
Exactly.
thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, see you.
We'll talk to you later. All right, the Immortal.
The Immortal, Matt Brown. Listen, I say it many times, and the great guests that we have on the show week after week after week after week. And you know what the crazy part is, Jesse? With Matt Brown is you worry about him because he has the most knockouts in the welterweight division, the most finishes in welterweight division,
Right.
and the most finishes. Okay. And he's been hit 9 million times and he's done all these things. But you know what the crazy part is? He lived up to who you wanted Matt Brown to be. You know what I'm saying? Like Kelly Rudy lived up to who Kelly Rudy was supposed to be. Like in my head, you always say, people always say all the time, you're like, when you meet that person and they don't really,
Right. They always say never meet your heroes because
they're so disappointing,
Yeah.
right? And prior to the show, January 1st, I never took a picture with celebrities. I never talked to, I had so many around me my entire life. And you know what's funny? I've became such a super fan of the guests that we've had on the show.
Yeah.
Like the Kelly Rudys, the Laval Saint Germains, Cyril Gann. Oh my God, Cyril Gann. You go down the list,
Smiling Sam Alvey.
George Larocque. Are you kidding me?
That was a big one for me.
And was that a weird one too for us? Remember George Larocque?
Well,
and how he made us feel
Yes.
when we were backstage, everybody, when we started the show. And people can say whatever they want about George Larocque, but let me tell you about George Larocque. He was incredible. Okay, he made Jesse and I feel like we were the stars of this interview, not the other way around. And when he got on, he was so complimentary and he was so funny. And then we started, but we had that basically 5 minutes of chit chat prior to the show happening, and he was just awesome.
Yeah.
And it's you just go down the list of all the people that were on this show, and it's just incredible, one after another. And then you have Matt Brown on, and you go, oh, most people thought you don't see Matt Brown on interviews, right? You don't see Matt Brown on interviews anywhere.
Not looking for it.
He's not exactly. He's not looking for it, and you go to yourself, you go, wow, he lived up to being Matt Brown. He didn't sit there and just everybody thinks Matt Brown's not going to say anything. Just like when Donald Penn from the Raiders was on the show, people are like, oh, he's going to be on for 5 minutes. He's going to ditch, and he's he was on for an hour and 10 minutes and he was great. And of course you have to have him back on again and all these other guys that we've had on the show. And I just love when people live up to who they are. And Matt Brown did that tonight.
And next week,
Forget it.
for next week, for all you Oilers fans out there, and
Come on.
NHL fans, one of the greatest goalies that ever played, Grant Fuhr,
It's
is
on
on
the
the
show.
show. Spruce Grove native, where I'm in.
You think
There's an
it's-
arena here named after him. We have an
and
arena
there
here
should
named
be,
after him.
but forget about 5-time Stanley Cup champion. Forget about Vezina Trophy winner. Forget about all these great accolades that he's got in his entire life. His story.
Oh, yeah.
His story is mind-boggling, to say the least. And how he came out the other side to win 5 Stanley Cups, Vezina Trophy winner, all these great things that he did. That's what's going to be on the show next week. I mean,
we're looking forward to that one.
yeah.
Yeah. So Grant Fuhr, I mean, again, like the amount of guests that are coming on is incredible. But
and then you're going to be on vacation for a little bit in August, but we're going to have shows on in August,
Yes.
and then we're already booking guests for September, and I think it's time too for guests that watch our show on Facebook or on YouTube. Who do you want to see on the Me and Jesse podcast? And keep in mind, everybody, when I'm asking you this question, who do you want to see on the Me and Jesse podcast? Don't tell me you want to see someone that's going to talk for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They're going to put everybody to sleep.
Connor McDavid, we're not going to have Connor McDavid on the show this year.
Well, yeah, maybe when he's retired, he wants to talk shit. Look at how Tom Brady's talking now. Do you see Tom Brady talking now?
He's talking trash. He's throwing it. Like, see him throwing the ball the other day. Like, I mean, hey, finally, Tom.
But why? Because Tom Brady said, if you ever watch Barbershop, it's a show on Netflix. You watch him on that show. He is a different human being. But he said to everybody, I had to act a certain way for a certain period of time, and then I basically took the gloves off. And not to say anything bad, but he dropped about 47 F-bombs on the show.
He also New England had a standard, and they had to, he lived to it. And again, I respect a guy for remember Johnny Damon played for the Red Sox.
Awesome.
Had the long hair.
Loved
then he got traded to the Yankees, and what did they make him do?
Yeah, cut his hair.
Cut the hair. And everyone's like, well, that's stupid. He's like, no, that's the team rules.
Yeah,
that's the rules of the team. And he's like, I respect the rules.
But also the amount of money they paid him.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so I would have cut my finger off. You know what I mean? So.
But I like that. But and again, you have to understand that there's class acts out there, and that's who we're looking for. So if you want someone on the show, make sure they're a class act.
But the story. The storyline.
That's what it is.
Look at the story.
Great stories build great character.
Correct.
It's great adversity builds great character. So you get a guy like Matt, and obviously massive adversity through his life builds great character. Yeah, he's not gonna shout like Connor does, but it doesn't matter because he backs it up when he talks and how he walks.
If the UFC doesn't do Robbie Lawler and Matt Brown
awesome.
in his final fight out of his when he ever wants to stop, I don't care if Robbie Lawler's still fighting or he's not. Please.
That was one thing actually that I was going to mention because in all other sports we really do pay homage to the players that have gone before.
Yeah.
And UFC really doesn't. You get a flash of Couture or sitting in the stands during that's it. They don't get to talk.
People are easily yeah.
And I think that's a tragedy a travesty because these guys are the ones that paved the road for you to have what you have today. And there's the Hall of Fame, but really, does anyone pay attention to that thing? No, it's
not really.
It's a 2-minute thing. It's never done on a pay-per-view. There's never actual primetime spots given to these guys. And I think they really are missing a big part of the history.
Yeah.
Well, geez, lots going on. The Olympics. I love the Olympics.
Me too.
I'm a huge Olympics fan.
Me too, but the 3-on-3 basketball, I could give it a rest.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
I said it.
I don't. You got regular basketball. You don't need that. I don't get
3-on-3 basketball. Come on, guys. And I'm an Olympic maniac, and I can't stand it. 3-on-3 basketball.
Well, they're trying to scale down the age. They do that every generation. They do that every 15 years when they brought in when they started testing skateboarding. Now this is the first year they had it, which I actually appreciate because I thought they actually did it really cool.
I love the skateboarding idea, but breakdancing next year or the next.
Yes, Olympics? I know, and they're trying things to get younger viewers, and
I don't know.
And it's how you. But again, there was a time that handball was a weird sport.
Yeah,
it is still weird, but
you're
not allowed wearing a bikini in it. We have to wear a bikini.
For the girls, you do.
Yeah.
And they got fined. I'm like, why would a girl have to wear a bikini playing handball? But
well, there's ratings. This is why there's a reason why
Yeah.
beach volleyball, women's beach volleyball, is the
Yeah.
highest rated Olympic sport.
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah, I don't-
And again,
I'm
like
not-
people say,
I'm
like,
not
well, that's bad. Yeah, I know, but you guys are watching,
Yeah, they're watching.
so
They're watching.
anyway.
Anyway.
Olympics on-
Anyway. Anyway. Check out Crystal Glass, everybody, when you get a chance. Go to crystalglass.ca, Crystal Glass 310 Glass. Well, Crystal Glass for all your needs. 70 years in the glass business.
There's a
Wow.
history.
There's a history.
And what else? Was that it?
September 11th, you and I are going to be commentating the
Yes.
boxing show on Fight TV. We're really excited about that, and we'll be flying in, and we'll be doing Fight TV for the boxing event. We're super excited about that, and it's going to be a
Be a good show.
good show. We're going to enjoy that too,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to find Jesse and I on Fight TV doing that show on September 11th. So if you want to check that out, you can. And we're going to make our debut in the commentating world, which I think basically between me and you, Jesse, I'm not going to be shocked when Jake Paul or Logan Paul call us to do their show eventually too, because most of the guys that are doing their show right now suck. So
They're horrible.
they're horrible. So when they call us, we'll come in and do
I
it.
love Snoop Dogg, but
Yeah.
he's not meant for that.
Snoop's made to rap.
Yeah.
Snoop's not. He's a rapper. He's not a commentator.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much, Matt Brown, for joining us. Join us next time when we're joined by Grant Fuhrer, Oiler alumni, 5-time Stanley Cup champion.
Get to our social media too. Get over to our Facebook page. Get over our Twitter and our Instagram at Me and Jesse pod or podcast, and check it out today, everybody. Get your friends to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is not a shameless plug. This is a plug. So do it today.
Until next time, everybody, that's Mark Pavelich. I'm Jesse Martineau. This has been the most important 60 minutes you've listened on the internet this week. We'll
Thanks
see you
for
next
watching.
time when we're joined by Grant Fuhrer. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Me and Jesse podcast. Follow us at facebook.com/Me and Jesse.